Morning, everybody. I've got your SPY chart up. So we're going to talk about that shortly. And we're going to talk about it, why it could be a tombstone or gravestone start to the day. So first, I should be wearing green because I was very green yesterday. But let's remember, we're not here for me. We're here for you. We're here so that hopefully something that I say about processing the market, looking for ranges, finding support or resistance, entry, having a complete strategy, knowing when you're going to exit, nibbling on the way in, nibbling on the way out. I'm here to improve your trading. So if you're like, what the hell did he just say? I just said about 12 different things that are secret tips, extra tips, helpful advice to improve your trading skills. So if you haven't watched the videos that I shot probably last year sometime, each with a different lesson, please watch. So why do I have the SPY chart up? Well, first off, what do you see in pre-market? I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing pre-market. I'm seeing we're sitting at 414.61. Now, I don't really give a shit about pre-market or after hours, but what I can tell you is we're opening below the low of yesterday. So that's telling me right off the bat, we're going to be bearish. Why else do I think we're going to be bearish? Well, besides for me having bearish positions, and I think we're going to be bearish, we also ended yesterday with this type of candlestick, okay? Good volume, this type of candlestick. Does anybody know what this is? Let me just look on the side. You guys can make comments on the side if you'd like, ask questions on the side. But this is called like a gravestone. Why? Because it's a large candlestick. We're ending right at the bottom like a gravestone would be, and it's bearish flow. So that's number one. Why could the market turn on us? Everybody's talking about 418, possibly 420. Now let's talk about my prediction yesterday. My prediction is that we were going to spike in the morning, go up to 417, maybe 418 if we touch it, but 417, and we were going to go down. Well, it was a very narrow trading range. I think we went about 2.7 or 2.8 on the range from the top end of the SPY to the bottom end of the SPY. But again, the top end of the SPY was finding resistance. So when I talk about finding resistance and feeling okay to enter put contracts, that's exactly what I did. I was in some SPY puts waiting for them to fall. I was in some Roku puts because Roku spiked yesterday morning, waiting for Roku to fall. Took some profits there. I got back into some Google puts yesterday, took some profit there. It's okay to take profit. And then I got into SQQQ. I got in. Remember, I got in. I'll show you guys on Discord my positions from yesterday. But again, what am I expecting? Again, we closed at 415.51. That's where we closed. Let's just bring it up to look at it again with everybody. 415.51. Now, what did I mention at the end of the day? God, I wish I had just scored up here. I mentioned we'd probably try and see a bull close out to the day and either end at 416.10 or we'd end around 415.15 or something to that extent. So I'm not shocked that we're here pre-market again. You saw that bull push, and then you saw a massive red tombstone, gravestone. I've heard people call it different things. Candle. This is the 5 minute. We can look at the 4 hour. Let's look at the 1 hour. Let's see what it looks like. I can't really see it that great. All right. So 5 minute. It is what it is. All right. So with that said, other information that could have impact on the market and will have impact on the market. Sorry. We've all heard about debt ceiling. So let me just get this out and explain. Okay. So the debt ceiling, what does that mean? We've all heard it. Let me just simplify it. Okay. You have a budget for a company, you pay your employees, you pay your expenses. The government has the same budget. When they run out of money, what's going to happen when the debt ceiling, let's say there's a delay? Well, postal workers won't get paid. Soldiers aren't people in the Army, the Navy, the reserves. They're not getting paid. Any government worker is not going to get paid. Then we're going to have possibly slowdowns with the post office, slowdowns with any government service. Municipalities are going to be in trouble too because the fact that the U.S. might run out of money, the state of California could have a massive $145 billion problem at the end of June. And it could lead to temporary shutdowns in late July. So California, you're on your own there. Real important, pre-market SPY was sitting at 414.83. Understand, I'm going to talk about the important levels of the SPY and where you can see resistance or support today. Now, understand, there's a massive level of the SPY where we're going to see support, but we're not there yet. It's at $412.78, way far away from where we are right now. But I think we're headed in that direction. So let me add, let's see, yesterday, this is Discord from yesterday. Again, I dropped about, what was this yesterday? I dropped about 10 new messages since 1 p.m. What I put above, now I shot a video. The SPY was sitting at 417. I mentioned characteristics of light volume and expecting a move of significant size. Remember, we were trading a very narrow range. So we were sitting at 417.10 yesterday, and I mentioned we could either go up to 419.50, which would be your bull case scenario. We'd break through the 418 gap, or we'd see 414.50. Now, we didn't see that great of range. It didn't drop 2.5 points to 414.50. We went from 417.10 all the way to 415, 30, 40, something like that. I think it was 30. I took a picture at 60. So yeah, we had that nice drop off volume. So now you look at the psychology of the market and you say, okay, so we dropped off that volume right there. Is it likely to pop back up and fill that crater real quick and we're back at 416? Or was this the first stage or the second stage in a move to sell off your securities and push the market down? Me being former hedge, former bank, former, institutional, suit wearing guy, I'm like, okay, that's the start of something. People didn't know. They tried to buy it back. They'll let it be bought back and then they'll sell it off again. They'll let it be bought back, sell off again. That's how you come up with steps. So again, right now, today, I'm a bear. Now I mentioned after hours. The SPY was sitting at 415.10 after hours. Well, shit. Again, we closed towards the low and now we're lower after hours. That's telling me, again, downward pressure. I mentioned pre-market. For those of you that didn't know to join me, we were sitting at a key pre-market level, 414.83. I'll mention why that is important. But the next step's higher, just so you guys know. Simplify it. 416 to 418. Hopefully you guys are looking at this with me. Thank God. Sometimes I just talk and talk. 416, 418. Meaning, if you see a bull run, you see the market going higher, you're looking for rejection at 416. If we break 416, you're going up to 418. That's your bull case scenario for today. Here you go. 416, then 418. Then we're going to have some hesitation at 418. You heard it here, right here. We're at 414 per market. There's your bull case scenario. Now, your bear case scenario. Your bear case scenarios, we're trading, again, right at 414.86. We'll pop on market open, as the market likes to always pop on open a little. And then we're going to go up to, wherever we reject, 416, 415.89, wherever it is. And then we're going to shoot down to that 412.50 level. Wait, Matt said 412.78 was a key, heavy volume, probably demand level for the SPY. Why would we go down to 412.50? Because every level is plus or minus 20 cents. So the fact that I'm saying 412.78, yeah, we're on the way down. We're going to drop a little lower before we get that bounce higher. So again, I assume prior to the Fed making their announcement tomorrow about 25 basis point hike, and I'll talk about that in a minute, that we're going to trade similar to yesterday, a narrow range, a lighter volume day, and expect, if we're rejecting, that you can see 2 points down. Or if we're going down, right, we're going down and you finally find support, expect that the market could spike a point, 2 points higher, because it's going to be light volume and we've seen tons of manipulation. Speaking of manipulation, let's talk about Microsoft. A couple weeks ago, I mentioned all those call options on Microsoft with an expiration date of last week that had a 305 price. Well, did it surprise me that Microsoft got pushed up to 308 on Friday? So all those cheap options are all of a sudden worth big money. So again, Microsoft hit that 308. What's going to happen after they make their money? They don't give a shit. They don't care. Microsoft comes back to 300, so be it. They already claimed their money. If it goes back to 300, maybe they'll re-enter those options. Remember, Microsoft was like 272, then it went to 292, now 94. They were way out of the money. They were cheap as can be. So did it surprise me that they pushed it to 308? No, but that tells me, it looks like an opportunity to short for me. Again, I got to watch the cues on that one. All right, so what else did I want to talk about today? Well, you guys found the time. Okay, Pfizer crushed earnings. $1.23 a share, estimated 98 cents a share. Pfizer was only up 1% pre-market. They beat by like 40%. What the heck? Okay, this morning, numbers that are important. Expect some crazy volatility right at 10 a.m. Why? U.S. job openings dropping data at 10 a.m. Factory orders dropping information again at 10 a.m. So expect volatility right around 10 a.m. So if you see a quick move at 10 a.m., and it's against you, they might buy up the dip or they might sell the spike. So be cautious. I'm telling you, so you don't scare sell. You're holding a position, you're green by 20%, all of a sudden you're red by 40%, and you're like, oh, screw it, I'm getting out. You sell, you lose 40%, and then 2 minutes later, it's back, you're plus 20%, but you already sold. Sucks for you, right? Yeah, the gravestone I already mentioned. SPY ranges I already mentioned. This dude's a tool. What a guy. Okay, this is interesting. We already mentioned that Apple and Goldman Sachs teamed up, and Apple kind of has like an Apple Bank. There used to be an Apple Bank in New York, but not really Apple, the brand Apple. Anyway, they received 990 million deposits over its first 4 days, and the first day alone, they received deposits of $400 million. So obviously, people are feeling safer with this Apple savings account that's run by Goldman Sachs rather than being in one of these smaller banks. I mean, that's pretty huge. Oh, okay, yesterday's plays, right? I was in net puts, net went. Why? Because net sold off on earnings. It was down as much as 29%, and then it only closed the day down like 22%. They bought it back. I said, hey, when this shit happens, you look for a drop, they buy it back, and then it redrops. So I made 65% on my net puts yesterday. Roblox puts, 22.5%. That's it, 22.5%. I was in, I was out, I secured profit. SQQQ calls. All right, this is the best thing, right? I'm in at $89. What happens? It drops to $72 within like 10 minutes after I purchased. 89 to 72. Well, let's do the math. I missed entry by about 20%, meaning I could have underbid my entry by 20%. So when I give you that extra tip about nibbling or underbidding, shit, it went from 89 all the way to 72. Let's say I said 15%. All right, 15% of 90 is about 13 cents. 13 cents from 89 is 76. Let's say I put in my bid at 76, which I didn't. I would have got the options bought, still not calling the low. Okay, went up to $93 a contract, 76 to 93. You're talking about what? 22.5%. There it is. You lock it up. Me, I was up 7 cents. I was up like 8, 9, 10%. Not enough. Google put, I re-entered the 106 yesterday, up 27%. Again, my idea the other day was either Amazon or Google puts. So I have them both lined up. I'm looking at the charts. I'm looking at earnings, and I'm deciding. And I said to myself, I'm going to go with Google puts. I think Google could be 102. I also thought Amazon could be 99. What happened? Well, shit. Google's still holding up at 108. I think Google could be 102. Amazon, which I thought could be 99, is at 101. Fucking, excuse my language, chose the wrong contract. God damn it. So yeah, let me see what else we got here. That's the SPY. Those are the Qs. Oh, I went into a Tesla put yesterday. I'm still holding. I'm only slightly green. I went into at $162 and like 31 or 32 cents. I think it closed at 161 and change. My exit, well, I would base it on the SPY. If the SPY is heading down to the 412.78 range, then that's my time to exit. If I see SPY drop hard to the 412.50 at any point during the day, that's my exit because I think it's going to bounce. So I'm going to plan accordingly. Remember, always set your ask before the market opens. Here's another tip. I take all of my options, the ones that I want to sell today, and I say, what would my optimal sell price be? And let's say I'm in the SQQQs, right? And it closed around 86 cents. I want to get about $1.40 out of it. So I'm going to put in my order pre-market. If the market drops substantially on open, 10 minutes in, 20 minutes in, whatever it is, and then rebounds, I'm hoping the SQQQ will spike and somebody will pay me for my options that closed at $86, $139, right? 86, 139, what that's 53 cents. It's about what a 59% return just today, okay? So, will Apple, first of all, K-Cash, how you doing, my friend? I saw you used to crush it, then you disappeared. I'm sure we all blow up our accounts. It's good to see you back. It's good to see you. I saw you on Twitter. It's good to see you trading the right way. It's 1, 2, 3 options. It's not 300. All right. Will Apple ever go down? I was mesmerized that Apple went to $170. I'm expecting Apple earnings to come in. And whereas everybody's been bullish on different earnings, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, whatever it is, and the stocks go up, Netflix, which, some of these companies aren't even that profitable yet. Apple, I'm assuming they might beat on the top and bottom line. And then we're going to listen to supply chain issues, which I believe they're going to have a lot of, and demand issues, which they're going to have a lot of, and the forecasting. So I think even if Apple beats top and bottom line, I think the forecasting for Apple is going to be complete shit. And I expect a sell-off. So we got the Fed coming. Oh, this is what I mentioned. The Fed's coming on Wednesday, 25%, 25 basis point increase. We all know that. It's 86%. It's going to happen. 14%. It's not. What everybody's listening for is how hawkish or dovish, meaning calm, hawkish, meaning aggressive, the Fed is going to be talking about future hikes. So the only words you need to hear are these words that are going to come out of my mouth. We're going to move forward, and we're going to play it by ear, and we're going to base it on what the market and the data is telling us. But there could potentially be more rate hikes before the end of the year. When they say there could be more rate hikes before the end of the year and that they are not cutting this year, okay, that's the other words you're looking for. Because the market already has in 2 to 3 rate cuts by the end of the year, by the end of December. We're in May. We're going to get a rate hike in May. It's not like they're going to cut in June or July. So then you're saying, okay, maybe July, but probably maybe September if we get that. September, October, November, you're looking for 3 rate cuts. September, October, December. It's not going to happen. So, but when the Fed comes out and they're going to say 2 things, again, we're going to think about continued rate hikes if they are needed, and there will be no rate cuts by the end of the year. Now, when they say that, hopefully the market will be like, oh, no rate cuts by the end of the year. Shit, okay, we're finally understanding what the Fed's saying because they've been saying that all year. However, the market had 4 rate cuts back in February. We hit all-time highs. The market thought 4 rate cuts by the end of the year. When we're close to all-time highs again, right, in the market, we're talking about 3 rate cuts. Shit doesn't make sense. Wake up. All right, Kumar. SoFi. Oh, manipulation. I was going to mention this one. So, again, we got that pop I said we were going to get right. We were at 583. We went as high as 650. You got to secure profit, especially if someone's playing options. Now, me, I didn't even trade it. I saw it was going to pop, but I wasn't seeing the option volume activity that I like to see. Well, how the hell would you see that? You would go on Discord, right? And you would look up your options volatility. So you'd go up here to, where is it? That's Romeo. He'll probably be, Romeo's live trading today for everybody that wants to follow. I think it's 10 or 10:15. So here's your algorithms room. So I would type in SoFi, something like this. It's going to be different right now, so it doesn't actually matter. The reason it's going to be different right now is because SoFi already moved higher and lower. But the point is, when SoFi was at $6, I looked at the open option contracts, and I was like, it's kind of dead. It's like very quiet in there. Not, you'd hear a pin drop. So I said, no one's buying calls or puts, so maybe the spike might take some long time. But when we saw the spike, since there was no support in the option field, we could easily see a sell-off. Again, they came out. I heard the earnings were good. I didn't even look at the SoFi report, to be honest with you. I heard they beat, and then there was a sell-off. So there's market manipulation there. Again, we all know the institutions own SoFi. Jim Cramer supports SoFi. So, all right, next, important information right here, right? Fed Reserve recession probability. What the hell do you see? You see the line spiking. So it says the Federal Reserve recession probability model has reached the highest point since 1982. So everybody that doesn't think we're going into recession, we are in recession right now. Visa puts. I haven't looked at Visa yet. And let's check out Visa puts. So, yeah, I believe Apple should go down, but we'll see about that. Again, I don't control it. We all have opinions, but if the market wants to keep buying Apple, Visa, totally. Looking at the 1-month chart, you've got 2 days of inflow. You've got 8 days of outflow. Here's your problem. In an inflow day, Visa could spike back up to 234, 235. You'd have a better entry into puts. So if you're in Visa puts right now, you have to understand one strategy is, if it goes up to 234, 235, I should re-enter my puts. I should get out if it's an inflow day. How would you know if it's an inflow day? You check the volume by 10:30 a.m. If it's green, if it's an inflow, if they're buying the ask, if they're paying the ask, Visa will go up end of day. If it's a yellow day, an outflow day, that means people are selling at the bid, forcing the price lower. So if you're holding puts, I would continue to hold puts. Key levels for Visa, where would I find them? I'd look on Discord and I would look at the dark pool. So I would have the SPY open and I would have Visa open. I would look at the dark pool levels. They're going to move similar, okay? When the SPY bounces off a level, you're going to see Visa bounce off a level. So you get out of your puts there When the SPY bounces back and gets rejection, you get back in the same puts that you were in. And when the market goes back down, you take profit again. It's a step and receipt. It's okay. I know you call me a different name every day. You haven't called me Jeff yet, but we'll see. Okay. Government forcing vaccines onto people. LOL. Most should have record earnings. Oh, yeah. Totally right. Exactly. Pfizer, record earnings. Moderna, probably record earnings. Now, here's the thing. I've got a friend, guy's old as F, right? And he told me that somebody that he spoke to back in February told him he should be shorting Moderna. And there are going to be lawsuits coming and Moderna is going to suffer and whatever. Now, Moderna was like 192 back then. I think it's in like the 130 or 40 range. He's crushing it. That's the end of the story. That story wasn't so good. I'm looking forward to seeing the SPY dip on open so I can sell my UAVX call I got from yesterday. I missed my 349 family. I'll be back soon. Hey, yeah, damn it, man. I hope you're doing well, man. Morning, Ryan. Hey, everybody that likes watching me, please, thumbs up. If you have more questions about stocks, please comment. Yes, I mentioned the gravestone. Where is it? Oh, here's my cheat sheet. Did you guys see my cheat sheet? Remember my cheat sheet? Yes, I'm old school. We can definitely graph this on the computer, and I do for my certain support and resistance levels. But I do it myself. Why? Because as I write down these numbers and I mark my inflection points and my lines of support and resistance, I get more familiar with the market. As I'm talking about the SPY going from 413 to 410 on Monday of last week, 410 to 406, and I'm tracking the pattern, the numbers are resonating in my mind. So as I'm seeing rejection and I'm watching the market, I'm getting more familiar that shit, 417 going into yesterday when I said we're going to range up to 417 and change and then probably reject. That was because familiarization with the market. Now, we haven't even crossed over line, so that can still be seen as bullish. However, I still see us pulling back somewhere between 408 and 413. Sometime this week, pulling back to the 408, 413. Hey, whoa, Matt, you just told us we had massive support just under 413. Yeah, 407, 408 to 413. If the massive support holds up, then 412.78 acts as massive support, and we go higher. And we trade a narrow range again until we hear Apple earnings, which are coming out, Thursday after the bell. So today's being Tuesday. So we have today of trading. Then we have Fed tomorrow, right? Raising. Then we have Apple earnings after the bell on Thursday. So definitely expect some volatility. And then we have crazy Lotto Fridays. So yeah, this week should be tons of excitement. Let's see what other questions we have. Oh, now you're trading shares, dude. Okay, 100 Apple shares at 150 a while ago. Should I sell my shares or? Yes, you should do one or the other. Now that Apple's popped, and here's your catch. So what's your downside? What's your downside if you sell call options? Apple has great earnings, and Apple pops from 170 to 195 almost overnight, going up 12%. That's your bull case scenario for Apple. It's going to pop to 192. I don't think so. I think Apple might have some issues. But we've seen all these other stocks report earnings estimates have been down, so everybody's beating them. You know, it's like a varsity team playing a game of sixth graders. They're going to crush the sixth graders. Earnings estimates are down, and companies are crushing earnings. If you're playing somebody in your own age or category year over year where our earnings, they're down 20% on S&P companies. So, okay, what should you do? You should do one or the other. If you're happy with your profit and you're in 100 shares, and it went from 150 to 170. That's $2,000. That's $2,000 you can reload into your gun to play with the option account. As you're a sniper, I know you are, buddy. That's what I would do. Or if you're like, no, I'm in Apple long term. I know Apple's a $400 a share in a year, 2 years, 3 years. The market will get caught up. Apple's got some new innovative products. If you believe that about Apple, then yes, sell some covered calls. Yes, huge paper charts, paper writing. I mean, I'm an old school guy, so I'm okay with technology. But I always like drawing and taking notes. Why? Because I mean, I forget things that I say. I say like, hey, I'm going to play this today. And then I forget to play it. And I look later in the day. I'm like, holy shit, I was dead on. I didn't even look at that stock in the morning. So I'm constantly taking notes. I love my Post-its because I just stick them everywhere. Hey, dude, you were going to get involved in Exxon puts at the top. Hey, you were going to get involved in whatever it is. All right. Yes. So somebody mentioned, I follow this dude on Twitter, right? He's the trading champ. I interviewed him once. He's more of the trading chump. And I don't mind saying that because here's what the dude says. First of all, he claims victory when he's in one position. He's claiming he got out actually at the top. The option he was talking about yesterday was like $128 at the top. He's like, yo, we all got out at 128. Nobody fucking gets out of the top. And you can't claim victory like that without showing it. So then he says, NVIDIA, breakout, massive breakout, unrestricted, unconstructed. It's going all the way to the top. But then he's also saying the market's going down to 405. So he's saying within 1 hour, NVIDIA, he's taking credit for going up and saying having a massive clear breakout. And clear breakout means it's going to go higher. But then he's calling the SPY down to 405, which is like a 3% drop. So he's calling NVIDIA, hey, it's easy upside, market, easy downside. And then he comes out and it's all invalid if the SPY hits 420. Well, fuck, I could be like, hey, man, I'm making this call today. I'll give you predictions on the SPY. Your bull case scenario on the SPY is, we're going to reject 418. So we're going 414 to 418, a little under 418. That's your bull case. Narrow range, 4 points, 414 on the downside, 418. Why? Because we have a dark pool level right around 414, so we can bounce off that level. Here's your bear case scenario. Bear case scenario is, we saw it yesterday right out of the gate. We hardly spiked. Usually we spike out of the gate, so some stocks did. So the fact that we closed at 415.51, and we're probably sitting pre-market lower than that, we're probably going to spike all the way to maybe 416. If you're on my Discord, I mentioned 416 number over and over and over and over yesterday. That's where the fight was. So my prediction for a bear case scenario, spike up to 416, and then we're going to drop all the way to 412.50. Again, 3.5 point range, narrow range, makes sense for the SPY as we've been seeing it Friday, Monday. We'll see it again Tuesday. Tomorrow, you've got that information. So that's how I'll be trading today. That's exactly how I'll be trading. But back to this douche. I mean, all the guy does is push his Discord and sign up for his paid service. I'm here on YouTube, so please, thumbs up if you like what I'm doing for free. I speak about Discord, but I'm not shoveling you to come to my Discord. You want to make money? You want to learn how to trade better? Yeah, come to Discord. But I'm not like, hey, the next 20 people to DM me and reach out and make a comment, you're going to get a response from me. I'm going to give you my play of the day. How about these people that tell you, I got 1,000% banger for you? Yeah, or they're just going to crush your account if they're right. Sports books, here's what they do in Vegas. You know those telelines you call up and they give you the pick and you have to pay them a percentage of your victory? They tell you, half the people call, 100 people call, 50 people call, they tell them team A. 50 people call, they tell them team B. They tell half 50, team A, half team B. When one of the team wins, team A wins, the people that bet on team A, you owe us money, commission for giving you that pick. That's how it is. There's no math about it. I mean, some people are good at picking, some aren't. But when you split it 50-50 or 60-40 in one direction, so these people are telling you 1,000% banger. Yeah, I can tell you, man, we got the Fed coming out with stuff tomorrow. We've got Apple earnings after the market on Thursday. I can tell you Wednesday or even Tuesday, right before the close today, I can tell you can either get into 420 calls or 410 puts, because the market will either drop significantly or spike significantly. The point is, you're going to get it for a fraction of a cent. You go out till Friday. We'll have the Fed. We'll have earnings. We'll see some crazy volatility in the market. And remember, follow the put call flow. You must follow the put call flow. What does that mean? More people buying puts, more people going calls. What does that mean? Okay, I'll answer this one more question that I asked myself. What does it mean, put call flow? Let's make me smaller. Let's go to Discord. So you look at the net flow, right? So you go net flow, TR, net flow. You can look it up for any stocks, but I'll look it up for the market in general, okay? You can look it up for Disney if you wanted to see where the put call was for that. But here's what it's telling you. It's telling you here's the price of the market. The cost of puts is right here just above 0. The cost of calls, which was closer to 6 in the premiums and millions, is coming down. So as you see the green go up, the market should get stronger. Now, what's it called when the market's up here and the price is here? It's called bearish divergence or bullish divergence, okay? When you're looking at the algorithms, we're only looking at the net flow, so it is what it is. But you can look for certain stocks. Let's look at the net flow for the Qs. Why not? Let's look at technology. And let's see what comes up. All right, here we go. So we saw yesterday there was a huge switch. As the market turned, you saw all of a sudden on the market drop. How did I know the market was going to bounce? How did anybody know? Go right about here, 10 minutes out. What did you see if you're looking at the Qs? The cost for calls increased significantly. The cost for puts dropped significantly. What does that tell me? right at this level. Market's going to go higher. How could I play that? You get in calls. What do you make? 50 cents. So you make about probably like 20% on your trade. Or you can wait for the top, wait for it to reject. But the point is, you can use dark pool levels, right? Dark pool levels for the SPY. How do I know when it's going to reject? Oh, shit, look at that huge level, $32 billion. What's the number? 412.78. So when I'm telling everybody 412.78 is a key number that if the market does drop today, which I do believe it will, now it could spike in the morning, drop in the afternoon, drop in the morning, spike in the afternoon. I don't give a shit. As long as we hit around that 412.78 number, that's my key to get out of my put contracts. As soon as we go under 413, I'm planning ahead. I'm saying to myself, if the SPY's at 413, where will Apple be? Where will Tesla be? Where will the SQQQ be? So I come up with all these predictions in my mind, and then I plan my exit strategy. I put in my exit strategy between 9 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. If I secure 100%, which I'm looking to do on one of my trades, damn happy. If it goes up 400%, so be it. But I don't see that happening. Again, I analyze the market. So if I saw the market potentially dropping into oblivion, then I'd say, yeah, I'd hold all my bearish positions. But again, I'm telling you that I believe, and again, I could be wrong. It's my opinion only, but we're going to see massive support right here at the 412.78. Well, how about before that? 412.53. Where did we close yesterday? 415.53. Where did we close? Anybody? 415.51. Holy shit, how does that happen time in and time out? We close right on a dark pool level. So we get a little larger dark pool level, 414.15, okay? 414.15. Have we seen that pre-market? No, we're at 414.83. So if we do drop on open, where would we likely find first support? 414.14. Quick bounce, bump. We're back at 414, 415. Market wants to either go up to 416 or drop. And if it drops again, 412.78. So I gave my predictions today. I'm headed over to Discord. I'll do my morning video. I'm going to talk about 2 different positions that I'm looking at. So anybody that wants to join me, follow me to Discord. There should be a link. Give me a thumbs up. And please join me tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be crazy important day. We got the Fed speaking tomorrow afternoon. And then again, Apple earnings on Thursday. More jobs data on Friday. Have a great